So, what is going on, guys? This is Ryan here.
And this is other Ryan here.
Hey everyone, Razbowski here.
What's going on, guys? Dawkbro here.
And welcome back to another episode of Theory Thursday, and this time we're actually on time. And this is going to be episode number 6, so this is going to be a good one. We're going to be discussing the newest image on scottgames.com. While it's still new, I'd say, it's going to be Nightmare Foxy for you guys. We've got some interesting things to talk about for this one. And we're going to start off by talking about our reactions to this image itself. So, when you guys first saw this image, what did you think?
Well, I had a sense of relief, thank God, because we was we was all waiting for Nightmare Foxy, and I don't know, I was expecting it to be like, I don't know, a bit more horrific, like maybe like blood dripping from the mouth or something like that. But the fact that it has a tongue now, and just it's scary.
It's one of those things I think no one anticipated seeing, was it? The tongue, everyone was like, oh, look, it's Foxy, but why has he got a tongue on the go? What is happening here? It's like
a serpent.
The reaction. People were saying it's like a dinosaur almost.
It's crazy. Like, when I first saw it, I was really happy with it. I actually love the image because the rest of them are really quite over the top, but Foxy isn't, which kind of begs the question, what's the rest of his body going to look like? But he could have made Foxy completely over the top. People are speculating they would have 4 sets of teeth, 10 hooks, and a massive hat or something. But the fact the fact that he just has the tongue as the creepy thing, I think it just focuses more attention on the hook, and that's Foxy's his main characteristic is that he's a pirate. So the hook is going to be very, very important, and I'm glad that he's just focused in on that element of the picture.
Yeah, the hook is the most symbolic thing about Foxy. Like I've said before, each of the animatronic teasers what we've got so far all have a specific detail for their key character, and Foxy's got his hook, so I'm happy it's back.
Yeah, I think one thing we have to think about now, though, is because if you've noticed the chain with these Nightmare animatronics, we've always had something weird. Like, we had the Nightmare Freddy's from Freddy, and we've got now this, like, weird serpent tongue thing, thing from the Foxy. So the fact that we had these kind of, like, zoomed-in perspectives of Bonnie and Chica, we didn't really see anything that's original. It makes you think, is there some ththings that we've left that Scott chose to leave unseen by us up until the release, or possibly for some feature teasers where we might see some full body shots.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
It does make you think.
Definitely. Because he's very specific about what he's showing us and what he's not at the moment. We got a very, very clear image of Freddy, so we can assume that the rest of them are going to be fairly similar to that. But the rest have just been headshots. Like, so what's going on with the rest of the body? Have they got little mini Foxies crawling out of them, or do they have something else? We don't know the state of the body either. Is their limbs missing? Are their legs missing? Perhaps it's just it gives Scott further scope to add more teasers over the next couple of months.
Absolutely, yeah.
So I remember reading a comment basically that said, from Freddy to Foxy now, they've all seemed to got a lot closer. Like Freddy, it was like a shot from like the stomach down, and then Bonnie was like kind of chest, then Chica was shoulder, Foxy was head. And you know what I was thinking? You know the puppet from Five Nights at Freddy's 3, how it got up in your face, and all you could see was the eyes here. What if that's the next kind of teaser?
How about, because everyone's been speculating that we're going to get 5 teasers, aren't they? Because we've seen the first 4. That's obviously no shock now, but people are saying that we need to see a 5th one, and a lot of people are saying Golden Freddy because he's had this big significance, and to me, he feels like he's entwined with the Bite of 87 quite significantly, and if we're having these close-up shots, we might have a real close-up shot of the Nightmare Freddy character, and because this whole was it me question seems to have been answered now, or at least it seems to have been brought to an end with the or me, maybe we're going to see some text on the Golden Freddy maybe saying it's me or something.
Of course.
The problem with that, if it does say it's me, is that it's going to reveal the answer what we all want, and I think he would leave that for the game to reveal that answer.
I think he's going to build a lot more kind of links with this whole question, isn't he? Before he unveils it.
I mean, he could always like release, because we know that when there was when he was hallucinating in Five Nights at Freddy's 1, you saw the "It's Me" of Freddy and Bonnie with the hyper realistic eyes. So maybe I don't know, the next teaser will be like a Golden Freddy with hyper realistic eyes looking at the suit with like I don't know, sharp teeth and wires hanging out its face and stuff like that. Who knows?
It'd be interesting to see what does come next, though. As you said, because it says "or me," that's finishing off this sort of line sort of thing. The bite of 87. We've got the culprits here. Which one was it? So it'd be interesting to see if Scott tries to go down a different route now and maybe shows us another setting, maybe something, like a shot of Springtrap or something to say it's set in the future, or if it's definitely set in 87. Maybe he'll go that way next.
Yeah, he could reveal, like he did in Five Nights at Freddy's 2, he revealed some actual screenshots of the game play. Remember FNAF 2, there was one with Foxy in the corridor, and there was one of the puppet in the box, actual shots of the camera room. So I'd like to see some of that, like, because it's 5 months away. He could do anything, you know.
This one he's left a lot of time between, which I'm really happy about, because wow, there was so much he can reveal to us, and it's just going to all come out not too rushed. It's not going to be like kind of day after day. He's going to be able to actually take some time, piece together these different hints and things towards the game, and I think we're in for a treat over the next 5 months and Five Nights at Freddy's 4. Yeah,
Definitely.
So moving on to the next section, there's been an awful lot of links with 1987 and these Nightmare animatronics, but there's a couple more direct hints within this Nightmare Foxy image, and we're going to be discussing those right now.
Yeah, so when me and Ryan first looked at this image, a lot of people will comment and say, you missed the 87 in the eye. I mean, we went into extraordinary detail. From finding, Dawkbro telling us about the nightmare, and Raz telling us about Nightmare in the Teeth. And I don't know, we managed to notice all that, but we didn't actually notice the 87 in the right eye. It would be Foxy's right eye. Yeah. And that's actually where his eye patch is, which is very... very
interesting
unusual.
as to why he seems to be having that eye covered a lot, isn't it?
Yeah,
because he seems something we need to see, or we are going to see.
Yeah, that's what I thought when. Again, somebody else pointed the 87 out to me. I didn't see it initially, and my first instinct was, has he seen something? Because you could put the 87 anywhere. The 8 and a 7 is just 2 numbers. You can hide that anywhere. But why is it in the eye? It just seems to me that has some sort of significance that the 87 would be in his eye. Has he witnessed something? Has he seen something? Did he do it? I think we're gonna. I don't think that's just a random placement again. Scott's a very clever man and very careful about where he puts things.
Absolutely.
Yeah, Scott seems to be hiding a lot of stuff in the teasers recently. He didn't actually, he's been actually doing it quite a lot, but for this Foxy one, he's actually hid 2 secret things, the Nightmare in the Teeth, the 87 in the eye. But for the other ones, he just hid Nightmare and Out of Order, as well, with Foxy. So it's going to be interesting to see the next teaser, whether he's going to hide some more things. Maybe this is a trend where he's going to start doing it more and more and more, because it just seems to keep gradually getting more secretive with these things in the teaser.
Yeah, well, there was one thing in particular with this teaser which I found really interesting. It's the fact that we've had this 87 thing in the inspect element throughout all of these nightmare images, and it's obviously that's intentional, because Scott's known to remove things like that. But the one thing we haven't seen is that the 87 has actually made its way into the image itself, and it's in the eye. And one thing, actually, with just genuine human psychology, is that when obviously we talk to one another, the first thing we look at is the eyes. So we're supposed to look at Foxy's eyes, and for all we know, this 87 could be some kind of subliminal messaging. I mean, an awful lot of people have been saying that maybe Foxy's definitely responsible for the bite of 87 after this nightmare thing, and maybe they're seeing this 87, but it's just not kind of clocking with their subconscious. It may be in their conscious, but, well, other way around, excuse me. Okay, so the next section, Out of Order. This is something that we've always connected with Foxy, and we've never really understood why, but this image seems to be possessing the same text, and it's quite strange because a lot of people are saying these guys might be hallucinations or something, but if it's saying that this guy is also out of order, he might actually be real.
Yes, and the thing that me and Ryan spotted, I think it was a comment actually, a load of people have been commenting. I actually was on one of your videos, Raz. I was reading through the comment section. The guy basically said that the hook looks like a question mark. And it's almost like a rhetorical question, as if to say, out of order. Is he really out of order?
Yeah, but you could say that with the FNAF 1 Foxy, it was supposed to be out of order, but it still came after us and killed us.
Okay.
Yeah.
It's
what I mean?
It's very good because, again, he's linking everything back to the first game. Like Foxy's out of order in the first game, so he's linking this back. So even if it's just something like that, then it's nice to see it that way, sort of thing.
What's interesting though is was the Foxy in Five Nights at Freddy's 2 out of order? He kind of was, I suppose you could say, because he was in the parts and services, wasn't he? He was kind of like scrapped and things like that. Yeah.
Parts and service.
Yeah.
So what's actually interesting about this out of order business is the fact that, I don't know, in Five Nights at Freddy's 2, like you say, it was Withered Foxy, he was out of order then. Five Nights at Freddy's 1, he was still out of order, which is strange. Why would you take on something that's just stopped working?
Yeah.
It doesn't make any sense. It's like, obviously the toy animatronics were scrapped because they were
really interesting.
They were malfunctioning. Oh, but they did say the phone guy does like Foxy the most, so who knows?
Yeah, that's a really interesting point. It's like he's almost built to malfunction or something. Or if he's just out of order in general, maybe he's just kind of placed there, just almost like a placeholder, as like a memorabilia. You could even say a trophy, in his cabinet, hidden.
Or it could just be like part of the well, I wouldn't say that. It would work well for a horror attraction, like Out of Order, and he's stood there like out of order kind of thing. But it just doesn't really make sense why they would keep him there.
I remember talking about why Foxy could be out of order a long time ago. Like, why would they do that? But you've got to remember that this Five Nights at Freddy's 1 pizzeria is incredibly bad. It's got cobwebs everywhere. There's rubbish all over the place. And we're coming to assume now that this is the old location from... we learned that from FNAF 3, the mini games. It's the same location, and then I just still don't understand why they do that anyway. It's just weird. But Scott did say in FNAF 3 the secret things in the newspaper that he designed it to be withered. Like he was on a trip with his family. And he was doing it, and then like he made it really damaged because he was doing it in the car. So it's kind of weird how he's made that link with the game. It's just confusing.
There's always been.
I think there's something deeper there than just making it because he's on a road trip.
Yeah, it is deeper. Yeah,
it's a by any chance some kind of winky face at the end.
I don't know. Scott, he always winks.
If there is, then there's something fishy going on there instantly.
But no, he also says that Scott actually says that he always, in every single one of his games, there's always been like a broken down animatronic.
Maybe
Foxy represents that as well. So.
Cough the mangle.
Oh yeah, the mangle
the
as well.
whole Foxy line has just been destroyed, really. Like, obviously the withered animatronics, but Foxy really gets it hard.
You know what would be awesome? You know what would be so awesome? You remember the teaser for Five Nights at Freddy's 2 where it showed Foxy and the mangle either side?
Yes.
I would love to see the mangle in just normal condition. That would be so cool. Like to see that. I mean, it's quite clear Foxy and the mangle coexisted at one point when they were both in a decent condition. I really want to see that. I really want to see that.
Well, no, it's just like you were saying, Raz, the Foxy line's always destroyed, and that includes Mangle. Mangle was actually a Foxy 2.0, wasn't she?
Yeah,
she
was a female.
And
Foxy,
she gets like taken apart by all these children as well, so it's almost like someone has a vengeance against Foxy.
I still find it weird how kids would do that to a freaking animatronic anyway.
Yeah, demented children.
Can you imagine?
Strong children.
Like, I can't imagine doing that because, like, I wouldn't probably been able to pull out metal parts from an animatronic, to be bolted together,
Yeah, they were super strong.
That either shows strong children or poor build. I suppose,
most likely. Well, it is.
Both,
it's the establishment.
And we know what these guys are like. Yeah, they don't put much effort into these suits. They look good on the outside, but it's what's on the inside that really matters. So we've seen Foxy, Bonnie, Chica, and Freddy. So who have we got to see next? We've got 5 months, guys. Who else do you think we're going to see?
Oh, it's a hard one to tell because obviously, I don't know. Scott likes to reintroduce old things that you think aren't going to be there, but like
absolutely.
5 Nights at Freddy's 3 hallucinations. Like, why specifically Balloon Boy out of all of the?
Oh, that one was so weird, man. The way its mouth could open, even though it was some kind of like wooden design. It literally, the skin stretched. It was weird.
Yeah, it was like a human. I don't know if we're going to be expecting. I think a lot of people in our comment section were actually saying that there might be something new entirely. They would like to see something completely new, but it's thinking back to, obviously, we've seen the first establishment. We haven't necessarily seen Fredbear's Diner, although we have seen it in a death minigame, but it'll be interesting to see if anything new does pop up.
Here's something really interesting just to think about. The phone guy always says someone's used a suit in the back, a yellow one. I think what we have to think about is that the Freddy we see seems to be built alongside the withered animatronics. It's not a golden nightmare Freddy, is it? So
no, it's
what
not.
about if we haven't even seen this golden suit in the back or yellow one, as the phone guy says? That makes me think, what about if we're going to see a whole new Golden Freddy? That would be really interesting.
If he's going along the same lines as... Because he looks like he's reintroduced the old characters that from the first game. Because they're the one everybody fell in love with, sort of thing. So he's brought them in. And this looks like it's the end of the line for the Nightmare animatronics as we see them just now. What I think will be coming next is perhaps what they really look like. So not the Nightmare version where they've got Freddy's coming out with them. What he maybe looks like brand spanking new. Like he's just first come onto the...
prior to design, you mean?
Prior to design.
Or just as they were just they were put into production,
Yeah, sort of thing. Because I think that would be really nice. Because we've seen the toy animatronics new, but we haven't seen the originals new and shiny and just straight off the factory floor sort of thing. So I think that would be nice and interesting. Plus it shows them in contrast to what they look like here, and then maybe that'll give us extra hints into how the game might work. As for a Nightmare Golden Freddy, I think he'll be in the game, but I think Dawkins mentioned this before. I think Scott will want to leave it as an Easter egg. I don't think he'll tease that one.
Yeah.
Okay. I was just thinking that for the whole game concept, I don't know. I just had this image of a cutscene, basically like of a proper cutscene of like a night guard speaking to another one, and then they're there during the daytime kind of thing, just having a look around the establishment, and then maybe at the night time, that's when it's like everything kind of goes really dark, and maybe like you were saying, Raz, you see these new animatronics, but then this night guard slips off to sleep, and
you know what I'm really hoping for? You saying that? In a way, I hope Scott doesn't show the night guards' faces.
Oh yeah, that would
I
be
think
a
if
bit.
He shows the faces, I don't know. I don't want to put a connection with these guys. Maybe hear their voices. I think that might be okay. But I think
voices.
If we put a face to these guys, I think I don't know. Something tells me it wouldn't have the same effect.
Yeah, he wouldn't really need the faces anyway, because we've never seen, apart from Springtrap's skull, we've never actually seen a real human face in the game before.
Yeah, we don't need to either, really. We can use our imagination for it, and I don't think it would improve it any way, shape, or form either. I think the main part of it is getting the storytelling across and seeing the animatronics. That's what we all know and love. We don't need faces.
Absolutely.
I want to see the puppet. I always keep saying this every podcast we do. I want to see the puppet because it's important. Like we know, apparently he was the first child killed from ages ago. Pink Man in his car kills him. Puppet pops up. We know it's important for making the other animatronics have life. Bushel, you said that the other week on the podcast. He's important, and but about Golden Freddy as well, I want him to be secret. I want him to be a big secret in this game because I don't know. I just want him to be a secret Easter egg, and because he's so similar to Freddy as well. I don't know whether they're going to be very, very similar or completely different. Do you know what I mean? Like, is Golden Freddy going to have a different trait than the original Freddy? Because I don't know, because they've always been exactly the same. What I'm trying to say is, are we going to see little golden Freddles coming out of his belly as well, you know?
Yeah. I think what would be really interesting if we actually do see the puppet, I think that would pretty much confirm this game is going to be dedicated towards the phone guy.
Yeah.
And kind of revealing him. He always talks about the puppet and Foxy. I found it funny how at the end of the chain of all these Nightmare animatronics, we see Foxy last. It makes sense to an extent, but the fact that there's secret text and there's extra, out of order text and the questions are phrased differently. I think this game has to be about phone guy, more specifically, rather than the purple guy.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think you're probably right there. We need to... The phone guy, there's so much mystery surrounding him. Did he actually die? How much... Who actually is he in the company? Because he seems to know an awful lot, that kind of thing.
Yeah, he's going to have to solve who the purple guy and phone guy is in this game. Yeah, and definitely. If Purple Man and Pink Man are different, he needs to solve that too. I personally think that phone guy is going to be one of these characters, either Pink Man or Purple Guy, I think. Because recently a lot of people are saying that Purple Guy is more of an innocent trait. Look at Ryan shaking his head. Do you disagree? I agree. I'm sorry. I think Purple Man's good.
I don't think so.
End of.
I don't think he's good.
You can't convince me. You're gonna have to give me a good theory, Dorko.
Me and Raz did one. Raz did what? We did two, didn't we?
We did two. We did two.
Bad. You said he's bad.
I said he's bad. You said he's good.
Kids. I said he's good.
Interesting. Ooh, maybe that's something we could all have a think about.
I want a twist. I want a twist in FNAF 4 where everybody goes, "Oh, Purple Man's the bad guy." But in FNAF 4, it was revealed that he's not, and he was actually trying to do something about these children's spirits, not actually kill them.
Okay.
It'd be a really good twist, and I think Scott's he's just a beautiful, beautiful man when it comes to storytelling, so having a little twist like that,
Absolutely.
it's always the best movies that you remember have endings that you don't guess, endings that make you think a little bit, still leave a little bit of mystery in there, but make you just go, holy wow, that is incredible.
Yeah, it's been something that's been spoken about for a while to do with films and games. Sometimes the most appealing ending is not the good ending, because then all your questions are answered. Sometimes it's the bad ending, which is better, because then you think about the game more, and all in all, it just leads you to kind of remember the game and just want to play it some more, just because it's a bad ending. You want to really understand it rather than just a good ending, everyone's happy, bye-bye, pretty much. It's not like that, which I agree, yeah.
And it'll be interesting to see how the actual film develops like that as well, whether or not that would take a good or bad ending, but yeah, that'll be interesting, definitely.
So there we have it, guys. There's once again another episode of Theory Thursday for you all. This one was, of course, discussing Nightmare Foxy in a pretty in-depth amount of detail. Hopefully you guys did enjoy this video, and be sure to comment down below any of your thoughts on the topics discussed below.
And if you guys did enjoy this video, be sure to leave a like rating and check out all of our channels individually. You got Raz and Dorka, they'll be in the description below. And if you're new to either of our channels, please be sure to subscribe.
So thanks very much for watching the video, guys, and we'll of course see you on the next one on all of our channels.
Goodbye, guys.
Bye.
Every time.